The way I do product research in 2025 is a bit different from how I've done it in the past, partially because I'm using ChatGPT to completely narrow down certain things that used to take a lot more time or required some kind of software. Now, one of those things is identifying brands that are sold by other third-party sellers, brands that are not sold by Amazon.com and not sold by the brand itself. And that's very important because you need brands that are sold by other normal sellers so that you can compete. So, for instance, taking this example, Zoro.com, and I use the supplier as an example a lot, they have a brands page with all these different brands that are sold on their store. Now, I actually had already scraped those brands to a spreadsheet. So I had a list of those brands. And by the way, you can download this from me along with some other lists I made. And so what I did is I brought those to ChatGPT and I pasted that list of brands. These are brands that Zoro sells, Zoro.com. And then I asked ChatGPT very plainly, okay, let's get to the bottom of this list, to tell me which brands are sold that are sold on Zoro.com but are not sold by Amazon.com. Okay, I literally just asked it that question. And it said, well, here are the brands that are sold on Zoro, but not directly by Amazon.com. And it came up from the list that I gave it, it pulled out 25 brands. So now if you don't do this, right, think about this for a second. If you don't do this, if I did not do this, okay, I could potentially be going through all kinds of brands, and there is a very long list of brands here that are sold by Amazon.com, which means I probably am going to have a tough time finding products that are profitable. So I just cut down my research, and narrowed it down a lot just by asking ChatGPT to do this analysis for me. And it costs nothing because ChatGPT OpenAI is free. It costs absolutely nothing to do this. Okay? So now the thing is that to take one of these brands, and I think I did one in another video, and let's see, PeakWorks products, and it's a good idea to read these reports. May be available on Amazon through third-party sellers, but not directly from Amazon. Quantum Storage Systems products are available on Amazon, but they are sold by third-party sellers. Okay, this is really what I want, because realize that ChatGPT may not be 100%. We want to know that it knows. In other words, Quantum Storage Systems products are available on Amazon, but they're sold by third-party sellers, where sometimes they're saying that they may be sold, right, by third-party sellers, or there's limited information, right? So, I mean, this sounds like it's more sure in this case. Real Craft, same thing. It says they are listed on Amazon, but they're sold by third-party sellers, not directly by Amazon. It sounds like ChatGPT is sure about this brand. Same thing here. Okay, so let's take a look at the Quantum Storage Systems. I'll take that brand, copy it, and bring that one over to Amazon. And I'll just paste it in here. And I'll search for it. And here it is. Here's the brand. Okay, now, first thing I want to observe is that, well, there are a lot of products. There's a decent number of products of the brand actually showing up on Amazon. Otherwise, what's the point? Right? So I do see a decent number of products. And here's the thing, just because these products came from Zoro.com, it doesn't mean I have to use Zoro as a supplier, by the way. But, if that's the idea, then, it might be a good thing. And for me, if I do want to use this as a supplier, I want to find Quantum on Zoro's website. Quantum, where's Quantum? Quantum Storage Systems. And open it up. and see. Okay, so on Zorro, they have 3,000 plus items of quantum storage systems. So they have a lot of items on Zorro.com, so it could be a good supplier, right, to sell it on Amazon. Okay, but now let me take one of these products and open them in a new tab. And let me see what IP Alert is telling me. IP Alert is giving me the green on this one. IP Alert is a Chrome extension that checks for brands that are known to file IP complaints. And here's the thing. ChatGPT cannot tell you if the brand files IP complaints, okay? So let me just quickly show you, and I'll get back to the next step. But brands filing IP complaints, okay? If you ask ChatGPT, I asked it, can you determine which brands on Amazon file IP complaints against sellers? It says Amazon does not publicly disclose such a list of brands. But there are other methods. And it's, the first method is, well, you can manually try to go through seller community reports. And a lot of those are old. Okay, seller forums, I've been through those. Reddit, they're old. Okay, the number two is to actually use tools and services. And the two top tools that they recommend, Seller Assistant app and IP Alert. Guess what? I have links for both of them, and you get a discount through my link. Okay, and with this IP Alert, you get a very steep discount, and you only pay for it once. You can get a lifetime license, and you get a steep, I believe it's 30% discount with my discount code. It's in the description of the video if you want to get IP Alert, so you can know whether or not the brand files IP complaints. So now back to our research process. This is Quantum Storage Systems. Brand, looks like we're doing well with it. I'm just going to click the link to go to their store as well. I just really want to check this brand out and see what's happening. Okay. See all the different products that they're selling, okay. But I need product results, and that's why I'm going to work with the search results here. So what I'm going to do is some manual work. If you notice, I'm not using sourcing software. You might have noticed that, right? So this is something you can do just manually, right? Sign up on ChatGPT for free if you're not already on it. This is free. Go to chatgpt.com and sign up with your Google account. Totally free. Okay? And now what I'm going to do... Well, didn't I open this? Let's see. Let me open... Oh, I closed it. Let me open this in a new tab. Okay, let's take a closer look. And I can do a Google Lens, or I can do... So I can right-click, search it with Google Lens. See what results I get. And see what visual matches. Amazon. Let's see, like Walmart. Oops. Do that again. Just wait for it. So, I mean, Google Lens is good because you tend to get a more exact match with it, right? Products that literally look exactly like the product. So this could put you onto some different suppliers, but you might also get products that are different sometimes, right? Where the supplier might be have a product that is similar. But okay, so what I can do here, it's just a bit slow over there, is I can also try doing the title, and I'll search the title instead. And see what I come up with. You can even go to shopping results specifically and look at that. But I'm not sure what that is that popped up. I'll have to close that. I'll close that as well. Okay, it's just a bit slow here this morning. Now, another thing, if I have decided that I want Zorro to be my supplier, I mean, I could just take this title and go over to Zorro and literally search for it on Zorro.com itself. So I'll try that as well. That Google search is just kind of frozen. And let's see what we get on Zorro.com. I'll just wait for those results. Okay, so I see like, let's see what we have here. Looks like the same product, but different color, but we have these different variations. Let's see. Okay, so that appears to be the same product. And let's just bring, well, let's bring the Zorro over here. Just for you today only. Get 15% off when you sign up for emails. Okay. I just to close that for right now. Okay, so $9.49. I mean, you should go ahead and sign up for that if you haven't. And subtotal is $9.49. Okay, yeah. So it's $9.49, and then we've got $136 for a case of 12. So, you know, you can do the math on that. You know, 9 of these is about 81, 82, you know, 9 of these is about, you know, $85, $86, somewhere around there. Right. And then it's being sold. Oh, it's a case of 12. Okay, for $136. So you would, okay, let's just go ahead and put 12 here. And it tells us that the subtotal is $113.88. I don't know if you can see that. $113.88 would be the subtotal. And it's selling for $136 on Amazon. So, I mean, it's not a huge gap there. Right? And then there's the fee, you know, tax. You know, so, I mean, if you punch the numbers into something more specific, you can get a more detailed calculation there. Right? But that's basically the process. All right, notice again, ships from, so by. So these products are being drop shipped. So this is Zorro is often used for drop shipping. So that it's useful for drop shipping. So you know, you don't have the FBA fee, so if you punch it in, I'm sorry I don't have a calculator open here right now. Actually, I do have my Google Lens template, sourcer template. It's a Chrome extension I made that automates Google Lens searches, and it does have profit in here, calculation. So let me put in 136.01. This is it says product price, but this is really the market price, meaning from the product's price on the market. The result price, meaning like the source, is $9.49 each. $9.49 each. The number of units. All right, so units, right? Okay. Well, okay. I'll leave that as 1 unit. But no, you've got to buy 12. So you're going to buy 12 units. Because it's a case of 12. So it would, I'm going to apply 10% tax. I believe the shipping is free once you go over that amount. And so cost per unit is going to be broken down to $10. All right, because you're going to pay 9 by 12. They get it's $113.88. Okay, see the price multiplied by the 12 units, that gives you $113.88. You add 10% tax to it. Tax is $11.39. So now here's the total cost. $125.27 is the total cost. So then the cost per unit is $10.44. Right? Meaning in total, this is what you're going to spend to buy the 12 units. And then if you take that total cost and you divide it over the 12 individual units that you're buying, it's as if you paid $10.44 per unit. Okay, so that's how you come up with the cost per unit. Because remember, you know, sometimes you have shipping and all that. So the unit price is not necessarily the cost per unit, right? The cost per unit is going to end up being, ends up being higher than your unit price because you're adding in tax and all that, right? So the cost per unit for each unit is $10.44. Now on the market where I'm actually selling the product, the number of units that I have up for sale, and it's not up to me, it's already on the listing, is also, it's 12, right? So I'm going to change this number to 12, meaning I've got 12 units up for sale. And so the cost per sale is $125.27. That is what it costs for me to buy the 12 units from Zorro, right? Of course, it's just the total cost of 12 units. Same thing, right? Now, if Amazon's going to charge me 15%, and you have to see what the fee is for this category, you have to see what the exact fee is. Home and kitchen. Okay, so if it's 15%, right? Quantum. Oh no, Google Sheets. This is an eBay thing with the market fee. Okay, then my payout's going to be $115.61. Right, and the profit comes up negative. I thought they were too close, just way too close in price. So you know that that's a negative profit, right? So I did not expect, I expected that profit to be negative, but I just wanted to do the process on that, right? So these are basically the same product. So let's just take another one. And again, I can just take this title and I can search it. Whoops, slow. Now, I do have spreadsheets that do what I'm doing here in a more automated fashion, by the way. In case you're not familiar with my work, my work for the past 5 years has been spreadsheets, helping sellers with spreadsheets, e-commerce, and I have spreadsheets that actually perform searches online and try to find sources, right? So I'm doing this manually because I'm actually going through a process, and it's good to do these things manually at first, so that I think you should do this manually before you use even one of my spreadsheet automations, because what happens is then you kind of know the process, and you get an idea of what you're looking for, and the likelihood. I really want to know if this brand, actually has matches on Zorro and all of that before I actually, take the products and put it into an automation. I want to make sure that these products are actually on the supplier. So I see this looks like the same product. And of course, you need to take your time and look at the details and make sure they match up. 72, 30, 18, 72, 42, 18. This is 72, 30, 18, right? But obviously, it's not profitable. The price is the same, right? And it's possible. You have to understand, just because it's on Zorro, you got to realize it doesn't mean that they're getting it from Zorro. The seller might be buying it somewhere else in some other fashion, where he's getting it cheaper than the price on Zorro, and that is why it's not profitable from Zorro. So these are things that we have to understand, right? He could be getting it somewhere else cheaper. Okay, so if you want to use Zorro.com, then this product is not profitable. But perhaps if you find some other supplier that has it cheaper, then it becomes so profitability. One thing we need to realize is it's not a property of a product. It does not belong to a product. Property is a situation. Profitability is a situation. Okay, it's a condition. It's a situation. It's a setup where this particular supplier happens to sell so much more cheaply than people are willing to pay for it on Amazon, right? And that can change. So it's not a constant, and it's not something that belongs to the product. It's a condition. It's market conditions, as they're called, right? Market conditions. That's what arbitrage is. Okay, it's a like a discrepancy in price between different markets, right? Market inconsistency is the phrase that I've heard used in the past. Okay, so that's what creates profitability. It's market inconsistency. All right. So anyway, that's the idea. And of course, I mean, I can keep going through these. And I mean, if you're really into e-commerce, you might actually just enjoy going through these products and checking them out. I do. I enjoy doing it. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to actually find products to sell in a reasonable amount of time, doing every single product one by one can be, not always the most effective thing possible. And so this is why you may want to use some sort of automation. So I'll do another video. If anything, I can do another video where I'll search this brand, and I just want to search maybe one more product here in Zorro. Paste. Where I'll search one more brand. I mean, this same brand, and see if I can source it with one of the spreadsheets I've made. We can do it either from the Zorro side or we can do it from the Amazon side. So let's see what we're getting here. There's the product. $343.68 on Amazon. But again, don't forget, with these more expensive products, the fees are absolutely larger. So it might look like a good price gap, but you have to consider that the fee is absolutely larger, right? Because it's a absolutely larger price. Okay, so you have to do the math to see if it would even be a profit, but it's somewhat close. Check the green. 298, yeah, I mean. So anyway, yeah, I'll do another video, and what I'll do is I'll see if I can throw these into one of my spreadsheets. And the Quantum Storage Systems brand, I'll continue research on this brand. And going back to the brands not sold by Amazon, Zorro, and what I will do is keep looking into these brands, okay, that ChatGPT's informed me are sold by third-party sellers. And I'll keep making recordings. I'll keep making videos where I'm going to run these brands through my automated spreadsheets to see if we can find profitable sources. Because again, doing it totally manually by hand will just take a very long time. But I'll always do a little manual inspection first. On Amazon, I'll look at a couple products, 2 to 3, or who knows, even maybe 4 to 5 products manually first. And then we'll take a look at the automated spreadsheet. So thanks for hanging out on this. I hope it was useful to you. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really just going through the product research process just as a normal person and just recording it. And that's really it. No guarantees of anything, that anything major is going to happen in the video or that we're going to find an amazing product. Just doing a realistic product research process, trying to find products, mainly either for drop shipping, or arbitrage. Could be on Amazon, but it could also be eBay and other videos. It could be on various marketplaces, depending on which channel you're on. I have several channels that I had made under the different markets, Amazon dropshipping, Amazon in general, eBay dropshipping, eBay in general. And then also have a channel where I do all of it, a variety, things that basically would apply to all sellers as well. So be aware of the different channels I have. See the description of this video, download, at least subscribe to my free email subscription, and I can perhaps redirect. Yeah, in fact, through that, I'll redirect you to all the channels I have so you can actually look at those channels individually, whichever channel, is of interest to you. And I've been running them for a few years, so you'll see, a few, different content over the past, 4 to 5 years. And that's about it. I'm Mr. Mark, and I look forward to hearing from you or seeing you around in another video.